Greetings, people of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of XCOM Multiplayer. This is going to be somewhat unusual episode of XCOM Multiplayer. You can see I'm playing Lieutenant Wolf here, and this is a dub. This is a post-production voiceover thing happening right now. I don't often do this. I usually do live, as you know, but when I play for my personal enjoyment and not for recording, which is what I was doing here, I sometimes still record just in case I come across some XCOM celebrities, and then, you know, they usually make for an interesting match, and it's kind of hard to be like, oh, whoa, wait for a minute, I need to start doing live, blah blah blah. So instead I do voiceover afterwards, or if, you know, something interesting happens, or something exciting happens, and this is the case where something interesting happened. And actually, let's just speed this up to get to my turn, and that's why you are watching this. Hopefully this is gonna all run smoothly. Let's kind of slow down. Let's actually go by 1.5 speed during my turn. Excuse me. So the squad I'm using is the one you saw in the last episode. For those of you who maybe have not seen the last episode, this is Sectoid Commander, Sectoid, then there was a Thin Man, and 3 smoke jumpers. 2 of them are wearing skull suits, and 1 of them is not wearing a skull suit, and I think all of them have scopes. Probably that's how it went. If I remember correctly, and I was just randomly recording this, and oh yeah, and the beeps you hear, that's Ed talking to me in Gmail. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 more, so I apologize. I didn't realize at the time that this was being also recorded. Yeah, what you see here, so basically I heard Lieutenant Wolf had the first turn, and I haven't played this with this person before. They had 180 hours, maybe you noticed when I opened their Steam thing, so I'm going to speed up again to 3 speed while they are doing their move. And yes, you see there's 1 person appears, and then there's movement mostly going, hopefully you can see my cursor, kind of this direction. And my idea was to try to stop them and slow them down with using my Sectoid Commander and Thin Men and the Sectoid, while trying to flank them with smoke jumpers. That was my strategy. Perhaps not very, slow down slightly. Not a great idea, but that's what I went with. And here I'm thinking they're coming from the front, so I'm putting down some poison over there to perhaps poison them, or at least convince them not to come that way. I'm not sure what exactly I was doing. You know that most of the stuff that I do is according to my gut feeling. So I heard 6 human feet, which could really mean only one thing, or more or less one thing. Usually it means that it's a 6 smoke jumper squad, which is very versatile, quite hard to defeat, especially in an area like this, on a map like this one, with a lot of cover. And it's somewhat boring, but generally very good squad. Very good in terms of, like, you know, not fun, but that you want to win. So since I was hearing them coming from that direction, I was thinking of, you know, whether or not I can do a sort of a preemptive blind grenade, or more or less blind grenade, but it didn't really go that far. So I decided also to hide maybe slightly my my commander. I didn't manage to use my Sectoid. I was gonna hunker the Sectoid, but I didn't really manage to do that. So we kind of stayed in similar positions to the last one. Let's again speed this up. And I think this is during this turn that I hear them 3 feet moving, or the owners of 3 feet moving over there in that area. And I realized that there's people there, so I decided to make sure that I heard it correctly, and I can see that there's 3 people there, or at least 3 spots are occupied. I guess there must be people, unless sometimes there's a glitch as well. So I try to grenade them, because this is probably the biggest mistake I made in the game. Obviously not for the reasons that my enemy or my opponent thinks that this is a mistake, but for the reasons of actually endangering my Sectoid Commander. And let's pause quickly here. So this is when the drama starts, and this video, as you probably already guessed, is not really about the gameplay as much, but about the conversation, or rather the monologue that my opponent had, and also some questions that this raises again. Once more, even though I've discussed this previously, I decided that it was worth it to come back to these issues and talk about them. And maybe you could also express your ideas in the comments below, and we can have a conversation about it. So, my opponent, let's unpause again, gets really upset that I grenade his guys, and he wants to know how the fuck exactly that was possible. So I'm following up on the grenade with my Thin Men, and unfortunately he doesn't have any poison, which would be really good at this case, probably. Poison 3 people. Instead I only managed to kill 1, and the opponent said something, but I kind of missed what that was. Let's see what he says. If you can't see me, I can't see you, which is actually not strictly true in XCOM. And I was gonna, reply to this, these 2 sentences that he uttered during his turn, obviously, because I have a 6 character squad as well. But then the situation escalated really quickly, and he said that you either have a sniper or you're a shield scanning piece of shit. And that's when I thought that probably this is gonna go even further, and it's even better to not try and discuss the situation with Lieutenant Wolf here, but instead to make this into a video, which is what has happened. So he says no sniper. Now this raises 2 questions, right? So he thinks I'm cheating, and he thinks he caught me, and that I am not speaking to him because I'm ashamed. What's the speed here, by the way? 1.5. Let's keep it to 1.5. That's fine. I'll leave, for you to watch the match, and I'll pause sometimes so to concentrate on the comments. See, that's what I was talking about the sector commander, who is clearly in a perilous position there, and he's dead now. Though it was a really kind of cool thing to do, to try and grenade 3 people, though I don't understand why the 3rd one didn't get hit. But at the same time, it was a very dangerous move, and that kind of shenanigans can potentially cost you a game. So how's blatant cheating working out for you, he's asking me. So again, it's quite a strange situation. Like I said, 2 questions that we raised. One is the question of whether or not using shield scanning on any other stuff that is in the game, like poison through walls, is cheating. And then again, this raises the question of what is exactly cheating. And the second one is the entire thing of, being a dick to someone in the game, even though they don't necessarily were dicks towards you. And it's also kind of funny that when people think that someone is cheating against them, they find it morally justified to call them shitheads. And this is not going to stop. This is not the end of the monologue that my opponent was having here. You'll see that this is going to continue all the way to the end. There's another talk to me, you piece of shit, says the opponent. And so, like I said, yeah, this is going to continue and escalate. And I'm sure you've seen this sort of behavior. This is, in a way, a classic attempt at bullying someone who didn't reply to you. You used an insult, and then you continue to insult and insult and insult and insult and insult until you kind of run out of breath, or in this case, the match ends, which is not necessarily a good thing to do. I would suggest that any one of you watching this, if you ever feel that someone is cheating against you, the best thing to do is report them if it is possible, and if not, then I think you should probably not become lower than the cheaters in your eyes. I guess if you think, like, if he thinks I'm cheating now, then how is he judging me, and how is he in a moral position to judge me by repeatedly calling me shithead? There we go. J to talk. Did you know, guys, that J to talk? Well, I have no idea. Thank God Lieutenant Wolf told me. And the second issue is whether or not, for example, shield scanning is cheating. I've discussed this mostly probably on the forum and in the comments, but my opinion on this is, as long as it is in the universe and it is in the game, but also in the universe, and it makes sense in the universe of the game, that I find that it's okay to use it. So in this case, we say, I'd like to know how you knew where to throw the grenade with 0 LOS on any of their movement and no battle scanner. I mean, I'm already a shithead. Does it really matter what I say? And what else? I was saying something. I was saying that yes, whether or not it is cheating, and I expressed my opinion many times that I don't think using shield scanning is cheating, or using actually any of the other stuff that, for example, TXP, is it TXP? That's XCOM baby. Yeah, TXP clan people use. I do not like using that. I do not like when people use that against you, because I think it breaks the universe, because there's no such thing in XCOM universe as shooting through walls, while there is such thing as situational awareness and kind of knowing where the enemy could potentially be. For example, hearing the footsteps, this is my argument most of the time. Okay, I'm now at Jerkus as well. Hearing footsteps is definitely in the game, and it was put there by the developers. It's not something. It's not a glitch. It's not a bug. Even the shield scanning thing, or so-called shield scanning, which is not really shield scanning, it's tile scanning. But the shield scanning is not a bug. It's actually in the game. It could have been left there. Probably was left there out of carelessness or not enough time or whatever. So it doesn't sometimes appear and then you use it. It's always there. And also another reason besides the footsteps thing where I use it because I think it's similar to hearing enemy footsteps, and it's a kind of a visual continuation of that. If someone is just around the corner and they run to that position, you hear them in real life, and you hear them here, so you kind of know where they are. But another reason why I think using shield scanning is fine, or at least it's fine by me, is because it's inevitable. You want to go to some position and you position your cursor over that place, over that tile, and it will tell you I cannot go there because there's a person there. And you cannot, and then you shield scan, right? It didn't want to do it, but it happened without you actually having any say in this. And in that sense, it's unavoidable. And if it's unavoidable, then there's no point trying to not use it. While, for example, shooting through walls is avoidable. It breaks the universe. Hence, it is in a slightly different position than the so-called shield scanning. So that's my sort of moral stance. What's happening here? Shit stain now. Okay, so Jerkus, shithead, and shit stain. That's all me. I probably didn't know that, but now you do. For one thing, also it's funny that like all this abuse is continuing. What if I don't even speak English? I mean, but probably that doesn't come into the mind of my opponent. So yeah, so it's in my mind it is different. But even if, for example, Lieutenant Wolf really thinks that all this stuff, including shield scanning, is cheating, I hardly think that calling me shithead for about 6 times and shit stain once and the Jerkus once is I don't know, good enough punishment for your opinion, really, because I'm not hacking the game. Even people using the shooting through walls and poison through walls and rocket through walls are not hacking the game. It's all in the game. You may not like it. I don't like it, and I say it, out loud. I've told it to the people who like to use it that I don't appreciate them using it, but obviously it's their choice. It's in the game, and they can use whatever it's in the game. Now, changing the code of the game would be slightly different, of course, and that is direct hacking, and it just completely changes the balance of the game, so it doesn't really make much sense. Here, by the way, I make probably my fatal mistake here. Let's see. Fuckface also, there's another one. I'm also the fuckface. Trying to... So you can see now that, let's just slow it down to the normal speed. I am left with just the Thin Man and that smoke jumper over there. And they have three units left. Now one of them is, this one here is going to die next turn from poison. And this one is going to go to 1 health, and this is still full health. But I'm trying to get to the big one here and damage him as well with my poison. But unfortunately I cannot get there with my poison. So let's hear how he abused the bug to get an advantage, he says. It also sounds that Lieutenant Wolf is kind of young, but I'm not sure. I know a lot of people who are younger than 17, which is the rating of this game, still play XCOM, and that's up to them and their parents, I guess. I know some of you who are listening to this are probably younger than the advertised age of the game. So I decided to poison here, thinking that he would come the other way around, and then I think I need to reload there, basically.
Good to go.
Right. But if I had poisoned this guy again, then he would also die next turn, but I didn't really do that because I was trying to catch the bigger fish, and by that I probably made the biggest mistake in the game, probably at least as big as when I decided to use my leave my sectoid commander in the open. Now that also enemy within is coming out, it will be quite interesting to see whether or not some of the bugs and some of the features that, or features or involuntary features, like shield scanning, are going to be still in the game, or they're not going to be in the game. And you know, what will be patched out and what won't be patched out. So that's very interesting, and how that is going to change the game. And once more, basically my message and my reason for showing this is, I urge everyone to not be dicks to each other in the game, even if someone is doing something you don't like. That's not a good enough reason to repeatedly insult them. Not that this had like a huge effect on me. I mean, you know, it's not the first time someone online is hurling abuse. I'm sure all of you have experienced someone being a dick to you online, because it's very safe. No one knows who you are. No one can get to you. You don't even see the frown on the person's face when you call them, you know, a name. So it's very easy, and hence a lot of people do it. But that's not, again, a good enough reason. Especially, I urge people who play XCOM, because I care about this community, and I care about this game, and I would love for this community to be friendly and welcoming to everyone. Let's hear about how you abused the bug and still lost, he says. It's not a bug, but anyway, that's a different issue. And also, if any of you ever, you know, I'm not sure I have fans like that, but if any of you I'm not sure I have fans at all, but I could be called that. So okay, you see that I lost the game there. Just gonna pause here for my final comments. If you ever meet Lieutenant Wolf, don't be mean to him, even though, you know, he behaved like a dick here. Person who behaves that way in a video game, I understand we all care about this video game, but it's still that's what it is. It's a video game. That way, it's not really because of me. I always feel that they're not really angry at me. There's something in their life that is fucked up, and that anger seeps through into other stuff. And again, it's safe stuff like, you know, being abusive online, because again, it's very, very safe. People who are very abusive online often will not have the courage to be so in real life, and they're abusive online because they have problems of their own. So if you ever meet them and you have the urge to be like, oh, you're the, you know, guy who called the Firewall gasoline shithead or whatever, please don't do that. Please don't be mean to him. Just treat him as any other player. Just, yeah, in general, my sort of I don't know what you call this, my call for peace in the realm of XCOM is for us to, you know, do our best to be friendly towards each other, because this is a really cool game, and I want all of us to enjoy it equally. And if there's things we don't agree about, we should discuss them instead of insulting each other. Thank you guys for watching this. Hope this wasn't a very sad or disappointing episode. I think it's an interesting subject. It's a subject worth discussing, and I urge you again to, if you have any ideas that you want to express, either about you know, abusive players, whether or not maybe you want to see a report button or something in XCOM, or whether or not you think all the stuff that is extra, you know, I'm thinking of shield scanning and through doing stuff through walls and so on, is, you know, whether you use it yourself or you don't use it, or you know, what do you think about the people who do use it? Or again, please, let's stay civilized and not call each other shitheads in the comments. Though I'm pretty sure the first comment to this video is probably gonna be like shithead. But yeah, but that's okay. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, hope you found this interesting, and thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please consider supporting this video in any way you can, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.